طنش بقى خلاص، طنش يلا. بص بقى، كبر دماغك يا عم، احلق له بقى يا عم. لك ايه؟ سقع له. Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to a new episode from Linguamid. We will talk in this episode about the verb to ignore. It is a very common verb and it has many meanings, and we will talk about these meanings in this episode. But before, download my free ebook by enrolling in my Egyptian Arabic 101 course. It's a free basic course that will give you the fundamentals that you need in order to tackle the spoken Egyptian dialect of Cairo. So you'll find the link in the description box and also in the first comment, and let's start right now. طنش بقى خلاص، طنش يلا. In fact, ignore is a verb that is very important to Egyptian because ignoring many difficult situations in life, maybe economic situations, maybe stressful moments, is very important. And even in daily situations, Egyptians try to come up with different translations and also very comic and very joyful translation to this verb, which we will know in this episode. So the first important translation to ignore is to يطنش. يطنش. Okay, this is the main translation or the main Egyptian word for the verb to ignore. يطنش. So أنا هطنش, I will ignore. أنا بطنش, I am ignoring. Okay, أنا طنشت, I ignored. This is the past term, the past tense. And when you say to somebody ignore, you say just طنش. Okay, ignore. يطنش. يطنش. So أنا مطنشه. Okay, I am ignoring him from the verb يطنش. Okay, so يطنش, تطنش, هو يطنش, he ignores, she ignores, هي تطنش, احنا نطنش, we ignore, هم يطنشوا, they ignore, أنا أطنش, okay, أنت تطنش. So يطنش is the main translation for this verb. But it's not the only translation to the verb. We have also like 2 or 3 other words for ignore. بص بقى، كبر دماغك. The second important meaning or translation for the word or the verb to ignore is يكبر. يكبر. Okay, يكبر, and we say يكبر, which means to make something bigger. Okay, to make something bigger. And usually, sometimes we say the complete sentence or the complete phrase يكبر دماغه, to make his head bigger. Okay, so when you tell somebody كبر دماغك, okay, كبر دماغك, it doesn't mean that you try to make your head bigger than it is, okay, or blow it or something like this so it gets bigger. No, but كبر دماغك, it means ignore. كبر دماغك, it means ignore. And sometimes Egyptians also say just كبر without دماغك. Okay, so without the head, just make it bigger, which means the head. So كبر or كبر دماغك, ignore, or literally make your head grow bigger. Okay, or bigger in size. لك ايه؟ سقع له. A third meaning, which is also common to Egyptian, is يسقع. What's يسقع? Actually, the verb يسقع is from سقع. Remember when we said one time in our episodes الدنيا سقع? الدنيا سقع here, it means it's cold. Okay, it's cold. So when I say يسقع as a verb, it means to cool something. Okay, to make it colder. يسقع. Okay, so when I say, for example, I put some water in the fridge and أنا بسقع مية. Okay, I make it colder. So this is the literal translation or the direct translation of the verb يسقع, to make it colder. Okay, but sometimes Egyptians use the same verb يسقع in order to mean to ignore. So when I say سقعله, okay, I say or tell somebody سقعله, so it means ignore him. So سقع, this is the verb from يسقع, this is the imperative. سقع, okay, imperative. سقع and then له from modern standard Arabic, to him. له. سقعله, it means to ignore him. سقعلها, سقعلها, ignore her. Okay, so it's a very important verb, and usually this verb سقع or يسقع or and يكبر دماغه, these two verbs are not the formal translation. So we say them only in some situations that are, let's say, casual, or it has some joy, or it has some kind of sarcasm and so on. So but يطنش is the actual translation of the verb.
يا عم احلق له بقى يا عم.
A fourth translation, okay, of the verb ignore in spoken Egyptian is يحلق. Okay, يحلق, actually it means, the direct translation is to cut hair. Okay, يحلق. Okay, and we have from it الحلاق or الحلاق from modern Arabic, which is the barber who is cutting hair, الحلاق. Okay, and يحلق is to cut hair. So when I say, for example, أنا رايح أحلق, I will go to have my hair cut. Okay, so to cut hair. So this is يحلق, the direct translation of the verb يحلق, which is to cut the hair. But Egyptians also use this verb and has other translation for this verb in some situations. When I say هحلقله, it doesn't mean that I will cut his hair. This is the direct meaning, but the inferred meaning, or the meaning that we address in this situation, is that we will ignore him. So حلقتله, it means in the past. حلقتله, it means I ignored him. حلقتلها, ignored her. Okay, not they didn't cut her hair, but حلقتلها, ignored her. So يحلق, it has two meanings: a direct meaning, which is to cut hair, and also an inferred meaning, which is to ignore. يكبر دماغه, it also has two meanings. يكبر, to make something big, but the inferred meaning is to ignore. يسقع, it has a direct meaning, which is to make it colder, make something colder, and also another inferred meaning, which is to ignore. So we have all these alternatives, and feel free to use any of them in the situations, especially the last three versions of this verb, and tell me the reaction of the Egyptians who will hear them. Another important expression that is related to it, when we say, for example, سيبك منه, or سيبك منه, or سيبك منها, or سيبك منها. What is this? سيب, from يسيب as a verb, it means to leave or to get out of something. يسيب, to get out of something, to leave something. Okay, so يسيب, so for example, I am catching something like a glass or something, and then بسيب, so I am leaving it, I'm not catching it anymore. So when I tell somebody سيبك منه, it means don't catch him. That is the direct meaning, but it means just leave him alone, ignore him or leave him alone. سيبك منه. Okay, سيبك منها, ignore her. Okay, سيبك منه, I am talking to a female, ignore him. سيبك منها, ignore her. So we have this important expression سيبك منه, سيبك منها, and so on. And this expression, it means also to ignore, and we can also use it anytime in these kind of situations. And I'm sure that you may have heard this situation in a movie scene or a series scene before. Tell me if you do in the comments below. So let me summarize. We have the verb to ignore, and we have some important meanings to this verb. The first meaning is يطنش. يطنش. This is the direct meaning that we use all the time, يطنش. And we have also 3 other meanings that are kind of casual and we use them for joking and so on. The first one is to يكبر or يكبر دماغه, to make his head bigger or to make something bigger, يكبر. The second one is يسقع, to make something cooler. Okay, يسقع, also to ignore. And the third one is يحلق, which is to cut hair actually, but we use it also to mean ignore. So يطنش, يكبر دماغه or يكبر, يسقع, and also the fourth one is to leave it. I hope this episode was easy for you. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you have any question, just drop me a comment in the comment box and look at the description box to find important resources about spoken Egyptian and also about modern standard Arabic. And don't forget to enroll 100% free in my Egyptian Arabic 101 course and download my free ebook. You will find the links in the description box and also in the first comment under the video. Have a nice time and see you in a future episode.